Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be giving you part three of my take on the September 14th, 2019 full moon in Pisces, part three in this segment. I want to talk about this transit's possible impact on the zodiac signs Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. And yes, it does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant anyway. Well, first thing up, as far as Aries goes, well, the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, one way this may manifest for Aries is that this could be about like a completion or culmination of some self-sacrificing venture for those less fortunate than yourself, such as homeless people, impoverished, hungry, or it could be a period too or a time where somebody that was overly deceptive or duplicitous and very unclear. I mean, is revealed, or like a hidden adversary, I should say, might come out. It could be a Pisces sun, moon, or ascendant person, or somebody one that embodies Pisces traits. It could be somebody again that was really very beguiling, very deceptive, very duplicitous, or nebulous, or even cryptic. And the thing about this too is when you look at full moons in astrology, they can be about time where one becomes tired, full, or exasperated at something or someone. Now, this could be at an aunt or an uncle that might have been overly passive or submissive. You might be tired, full, exasperated at an aunt or uncle that might have been overly passive, submissive, weak-willed, or maybe even involved in drugs or alcohol at this time. Now, in some isolated cases, this could be the discovery, unveiling, or disclosure of some Pisces-like mental illness, such as something like schizophrenia or something with delusion, some illness that's connected with things that are distorted or imagined. But a lot of this, of course, could be predicated and dependent upon aspects in the chart. If it makes an adverse aspect, say, to your natal Mercury or third house cusp, it could increase the propensity for that, but this is very isolated now. As far as Taurus goes, well, the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Taurus. This could be a time for Taurus where this could be a time where maybe some Pisces-like aspiration comes to a completion or culmination. It could be something connected with the metaphysical, which includes astrology or photography, chemistry, dancing, poetry, or even a project that's Neptune related, associated with one of those things that I just described. It could be a time where a toxic friendship might even come to an end or completion or culmination at this time. This could also be about the revelation or unveiling of some friend or an acquaintance that might be overly cryptic or deceptive or duplicitous, or somebody that's very weak-willed or passive, a person that's very beguiling, wasn't really who you thought they were, very chameleon-like qualities perhaps. It could also be a time too, when you talk about full moons in astrology, this could be a time where one can be very tired, exasperated, or full of something. And this could be a time for some where one can become rather tired or exasperated or full. And it could be a friend or an acquaintance that might be rather deceptive, duplicitous, gullible, overly passive, overly weak-willed, or it could even be some kind of maybe group, club, or organization that wasn't what they said they were. That one that again could be very deceptive or duplicitous, and was really really again not really not having all the details about it. And maybe this is the time when that could be revealed, because you're going to have a lot of this Virgo energy coming out as well. So those are some ways that this may manifest at this point in time. Now, another, as far as Gemini goes, Well, for Gemini, the 10th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So for Gemini at this time, this could be a time for Gemini where Gemini might be a completion or culmination of a Pisces type career venture. It could be something connected with the metaphysical, which includes astrology, poetry, dancing, photography, anesthesiology. Maybe it could be a time where maybe where this could also be about where you might become tired, exasperated, or full, so to speak. A dominant parent, which is often the father, somebody prominent in your career, someone figures strongly in your public image, your reputation, that might be overly deceptive or duplicitous or beguiling or overly passive or weak-willed or overly nebulous or unclear. And this could be about a time too where really it could be a self-revelation to yourself that you could actually be more self-sacrificing in matters connected with 10th house matters such as your career and also things that are associated with the dominant parent, which is often the father at this time. This could also be a time to where maybe an addiction, so to speak, of maybe trying to attain greater notoriety, exposure, and recognition comes to an end at this time. And those are some ways that this could pan out at this time, or maybe something that was slanderous connected with your reputation that was really very deceptive comes out at this time, and you find out what's really going on as far as that goes. Somebody that might have been really working against you and doing things, really kind of behind closed doors. Someone that was pretending to be an ally, but was really working to do something. Really, telling lies, things that were fallacious in order to ruin your reputation, your public image, that might come to light at this time. Well, the next thing up as far as Cancer goes, well, for Cancer, the 9th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So in some cases, this could manifest in the completion or culmination of some kind of, it could be a 9th house, some kind of Pisces higher education course that may come to an end, or something that's published Pisces related, such as something with the metaphysical, which includes astrology, something with poetry or dancing, something associated with magic or illusion, or anything that could be Pisces related. It could be like if it's something publishing a fantastical novel, such as something with fantasy or fiction at this time. And also too, this could be about a revelation or unveiling of an in-law or grandchild that was overly maybe deceptive or duplicitous or very chameleon-like, or one that's very, perhaps in some cases, weak-willed, or maybe succumbing to some kind of drug or alcohol addiction. It could also be a time to, at this time, the full moon, not just about unveilings and revelations or completions or endings. It could also be about a time where you become really tired, exasperated, or full of something. And it could be about maybe a philosophy that you have where you're somewhat directionless, or maybe being more maybe tired of this could be maybe an in-law grandchild being overly lethargic or lackadaisical, overly stagnant, more where one or both might be more of a daydreamer, or someone that fantasizes as opposed to actually doing. So those are some ways that this could manifest and pan out. Now, as far as Leo goes, well, for Leo at this time, the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, for Leo, this could manifest in a multitude of ways. This could be about the completion or culmination of a metaphysical transformation or spiritual transformation at this time. Metaphysical, which can include astrology or some kind of detox transformation. It could be a time too where maybe where there's something connected with self-sacrifice, which was involved with shared resources, may come to an end at this time, or It could be a time too when you're talking about full moons in astrology. It could be about a revelation or unveiling. It could be about somebody that was overly deceptive or duplicitous in a shared resources scenario. It could be a sexual partner at this time. It could also be about maybe becoming more cognizant of maybe even a sexual urge that's starting to maybe dissolve or dissipate at this time. And also too, hold on a moment, people. And some cases, this could be about a revelation or unveiling of a Pisces type surgery related matter, such as something with the feet or the toes, or something connected with the lymphatic system. Or maybe some kind of chaotic or confusing crisis might come to an end. You might become tired or exasperated or full at somebody. That could be a sexual partner or somebody in an intimate relationship with shared resources situation, or even somebody that might be eighth house related, such as somebody involved with your taxes or insurance that might be overly, I mean, could be cryptic, or somebody really very deceptive or duplicitous or overly, I mean, just anything that could be Pisces related, or somebody, I mean, it could even be a sexual partner that might be overly passive or weak-minded or non-confrontational. And also too, this could be about the ending or of some kind of maybe a toxic connection, so to speak, with the sexual partner, someone you're in an intimate relationship with, but also about maybe even leaving a Pisces like legacy at this time, such as being very idealistic, self-sacrificing, philanthropic, a person that actually can show, good amount of compassion, anything positive or altruistic, anything that could be very positive Pisces related. Last but not least, as far as Virgo goes, well, the seventh house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, in some cases, this could manifest in the revelation or unveiling of a Pisces open adversary. It could be a Pisces sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Pisces characteristics, or even in some cases, it could be the ending, completion, or culmination of a toxic relationship, or maybe even a significant other or grandmother that comes out, and somebody that might be alcoholic in some isolated cases, or somebody that might be connected with drugs at this time. But it could also be about the ending in some cases of a Pisces type, like a business partnership, such as something with poetry or dancing, or photography, chemistry, something with pharmaceutical work, anything that could be Pisces related. And it could also be a time too where you're tired of maybe become tired, exasperated, full, so to speak. It's something that maybe perhaps a significant other or a grandmother or just somebody that's prominent in your life in general that might be overly, you see, is overly chaotic or confusing or nebulous, or somebody that has no direction. And also maybe a confusing, like a legal matter might come to a head at this time, and one that really, that maybe was somewhat nebulous or unclear, or you didn't understand why it was even happening, like such as if there was a lawsuit against you, and those details might actually come to surface at this time, considering we're having a very strong abundance of Virgo energy that is going to transpire at this time. So those are some ways that this may manifest and pan out. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my take on the September 14th, 2019 full moon in Pisces, part 3 of 4. And until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.